development. Now, we are called to engage each other. We have been designed to work on teams. We have been designed as social beings. And so it is so significant that we embrace that and understand who we are, and that no man is an island. We are here to actually help out each other. Now, if you are leading a team, and the team could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be different persons, right? It could be at work, wherever it is, it could be in your own business. And let us say that you are leading that team. It is important that your team members understand the simple truth, the simple fact about trust. And we are the ones that are there to help to build that type of trust. And so I want to break it down a little bit for us to understand, what does this look like? What does this mean when we talk about building this type of trust? The first thing I want to use is the T in trust. And the T in trust is just talking about making sure that you are taking time to listen and give feedback to people. Now, sometimes we don't always listen. Sometimes, have you ever realized that now, if you're not careful, the norm is we ask people, how are you doing? But while we're asking, we're still walking. So we're not stopping to listen to their response. Well, if we're going to build trust, then it is imperative that we take the time to listen. And sometimes what we do as well is that even in our conversations, when someone else is talking, immediately our minds are trying to figure out, how am I going to respond to this person? How am I going to give this person a solution? How am I going to help them to solve this situation? Well, if you do that, you're not really listening, because your mind is so active trying to find a solution. Your mind is so active trying to do all sorts of things. Then sometimes we are listening, we're talking to someone, but at the same time, we are on our phone sending a WhatsApp message. No, we have to break out of that. I have been guilty of that. And I realize in those times, I'm not truly listening, because now my attention is divided. Listening is really giving undivided attention to someone. And it's important, because it is in listening that you are able to hear what is not being said. Isn't that powerful? Because sometimes people are talking, but they're not really able to express how they're truly feeling. And it is when you take the time to listen to them. And guess what too? When they realize that you are actually listening to them, they feel like, yes, you care about them. Yes, you want to hear what they have to say. You are very interested in what they have to say. That's important. So you have to take that time, give undivided attention to people when they are speaking to you. Yes. And then you give your feedback. People also want to know what you have to say to them when you have listened. They want to know. And when you do that, can I tell you something? Trust is going to be built tremendously. And that's what we want now more than ever, for people to understand that, listen, I want to listen to what you have to say. I care about your voice. I want to give feedback if it is needed, and that will save a lot of people. Can I tell you this, that sometimes even some simple good mornings make a world of difference to a lot of people. Take time today to listen to someone and then give the type of feedback that will help them to grow. That's T. The R in trust stands for respect. Respect. People want to know that you respect them. They want to know that you are actually appreciating them for who they are. And that helps them to develop the trust in you that is needed as a leader. Can you imagine that you have persons you are leading, but you don't respect them, or they don't have respect for you? What it does is that it makes your conversation, makes the environment very, very tense, makes the environment very, very toxic. And you don't want that, because trust is not going to be built any at all. There is something I've recognized though, that there are times when trust takes a while to be built up, but it can be destroyed like this in a couple of seconds. Have you ever recognized that? Yes, that's why you and I, we have to make sure that the trust that people have in us, that we don't violate it by being disrespectful to them, and that they too don't violate that trust you have in them by being disrespectful to you as well. So we must learn how to trust each other, right? We must learn to give trust as well, give respect rather, and in return, that respect can be given to us as well. It's very important that we respect each other. The next one is you. For me, it stands for unconditional positive regard. Unconditional what? Positive regard, which means is I'm going to show acceptance to you. I'm going to show you that I value you. I'm going to show you that I appreciate you. I am going to affirm you. Yes, I am going to affirm you. So though you may be seeing some negative behaviors, you are not going to keep just hitting at the person and keep telling to stop doing this. I keep telling you have to be better than this. No, what you're going to keep doing, you're going to keep saying, you are great. You are brilliant. You are gifted. You are a great orator. You are a great writer. You are a great coach. Yes, unconditional positive regard. I still accept you even though I am seeing some negative attitudes. I'm still going to work with you, because remember what you're doing, you're building trust, right? People are not flawless. People do come to us with different flaws, but even with those flaws, there are still a lot of positive things in them that we can identify, and we keep speaking that unconditional positive regard. You know what it says? Unconditional positive regard. That is going to help people to come to a higher place. That is going to help people to just develop. That's going to help people to want to be around you. And two, you are going to want to be around them. So that is the U. The S means sensitivity, right? So what I do when I go around persons, there are times when I anticipate how they're feeling, and I'm anticipating what their needs are as well. Interestingly, when you look at the life of successful leaders, you see that they are very sensitive to the feelings and needs of others around them. Even when you're looking at Jesus in the Bible, as he moved around in the day from town to town, interacted with different people, businessmen, businesswomen, lawyers, rich people, poor people, he was very sensitive to their feelings and their needs. Even when the rich young ruler came to him, look at how Jesus dealt with him, very sensitive to his feelings and his needs. It's so that we must be sensitive to others. We must be sensitive to their feelings and their needs. We must come to a place where we become empathetic, and we're able to put ourselves in their shoes. We're trying to understand from their perspective what is happening with them. Can I tell you, when you do that, what's going to happen? They are going to be drawn to you. They are going to want to say, listen, I want what you have, because it is helping me to grow and what? Develop. Remember, that's what we're after. We are after wiring people for the win. If we're going to do that, we have to be sensitive. And I'm not talking about being what we call in Jamaica, touchy and easy to get offended. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about you are looking at how this thing may have made this person feel. You're looking at what is that particular need that this person may have, and you're trying to help them to meet those needs. And if you see some negative ones, you're trying to help them to turn those negative ones around. I am telling you, this is definitely something that will help people to want to jump out of their skin and want to get on new skin. Yes. Now, so be sensitive towards people's feelings. Be sensitive to what they need. Remember this, people are not so much into what you have to say until they know that you care about them. I'm telling you, if I know that you have my best interest at heart, I am going to want to be around you. Yes, even if you could be prophesying millions of times. So I realize that you don't love me. If I realize that you don't have my best interest at heart, I will not receive any of your prophecies. I'm telling you. I'm going to put up a wall. But when I realize that your heart towards me is full of love, it is full of compassion, it is something that you are, you know, it's just coming out of your pores. You're just sensitive towards how I'm feeling, and you can sense my needs. Then that is what is going to push me to really want to be around you. So be sensitive to the people's needs and their feelings. The next thing I want to tell you, the T in trust is touch. Touch. What that means for me is that it is important that we give encouragement. We give encouragement. It's important. Just giving a handshake. Yes, just giving someone a high five or put a pat on the back. On the back. Listen, I am a principal, and my students, when they come to school, I am at the front and I am giving high fives. I am giving a booming fist. Can I tell you what that does for them is that it makes them feel so good, makes them feel so awesome, makes them feel like they are being seen. Yes. And trust me, when you see just the smile on their face, when you see how they are just jubilant after that, it just gets you going. That's what encouragement does. That's what encouragement does. We must become what our master coach calls sons of consolation. We must become persons who constantly encourage others. The reality is there is too much negativity in the world. There are too many people who are being depressed, who are being stressed out because of different things that are happening in their lives. Well, you have the opportunity to encourage them today. So many persons come into our spaces or work environment, and we never take the time to give them an encouragement. We never take the time to say to them, listen, I believe in you. I believe that you are able to be great. I believe that you are strong. Yes, this morning, if you are going to build the level of trust and create individual development, apply these simple principles. Apply these simple principles of helping people to understand, hey, I'm going to touch your life today. I'm going to give you a word of encouragement. Who do you know now that needs you to send them a message to encourage them? If you're in your office, which cubicle that you need to walk to right now when we're through, and give them a word of encouragement? Who do you need to take up the phone and call and give them a word of encouragement? Who do you need to give a handshake today? Who do you need to probably just take to lunch today, or just buy a bottle of water and put on their desk and say, listen, I appreciate you. This is what we're doing. It's about building trust so that there can be individual development. You want to make sure that as you do that, you will be winning, and the person that you are building up will also be winning. So as we wrap up, I want to say to you, touch somebody's life today. Give somebody unconditional positive regard. Be sensitive to someone. Allow respect to happen and take the time to listen and give positive feedback. I hope and trust that these small nuggets would have energized you today and you'll be able to energize someone else. On behalf of Master Coach Apostle Courtney McLean and the entire Wired to In 4 Room team, this is Reverend Diamond who say to you today, build trust in your family members, in your friends, in your co-workers, and watch people's lives transform before your eyes. Have a great day. Remember, share this, like it, so that someone else can be developed. See you tomorrow again as we push in becoming wired for the win. God bless you, everyone.